Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Matt here, and we back with another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. Well, it's been an interesting 24 hours or so for your boy. First off, I just want to start out by saying, I really, truly am humbled, and I truly appreciate everyone that commented, wrote to me, liked, subscribed, or anything from my last video about Stylebender and Dricus Duplessis. Um, I really appreciate all the kind comments and everything that people had said about my channel, and all the likes, subscribes, and everything. It's truly appreciated. I can't thank everyone enough, to all the new subscribers, to all the new viewers, and everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you happened to, by happenstance, come across my channel. So I definitely do appreciate it. To everyone that had opposing views or opposing comments to what I had, I also appreciate you. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to come down in my comments and, have an opposing view, to what I said. Because overall, that's the whole point of the name of this channel is Matter of Fact, and more importantly, Matter of Fact MMA. And the whole point of that channel is it Matt, which is, the way that I view certain situations, different scenarios within mixed martial arts, or is it fact? Fact being the way that you view it. So this is a channel in which everyone can come here. You can go in the comments or whatever and tell us your view, whether it's an opposing view or whether it goes along with everybody else's or whatever. Who's to say that anyone is necessarily right? But, everyone has something they got to believe in, you know what I mean? So to all the people that came into the comments or came to the channel and had opposing views or everything, I also thank you as well. I appreciate you taking out the time out of your day, out of your night, whatever the case might have been, to drop your boy a line and let your boy know how you felt. Some of you all had, some interesting points, some interesting takes. Y'all dropped a little bit of history on me, a little bit of facts that your boy Matt wasn't aware of. So I appreciate that as well. You know what I'm saying? I never take anything personal like that. Although some of y'all did get, some of y'all did have a couple of personal little attacks. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all did say some couple little hurtful things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Kind of felt like Alexandre Pantoja, like I'm great come walking out the many men in this piece. Like many men, you know what I'm saying? Which death upon me. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys too. I appreciate anyone that, took a moment to drop a line to your boy about my video or anything like that. Again, I appreciate everything coming from you all. And like I said, that's part of why I wanted to create this channel, is I wanted to, kind of create a YouTube channel in which people could literally come in here with opposing views. If you go at each other in the comments, it's all good, man. At the end of the day, everybody's got a way that they lean. Everybody's got a point of view, and everybody deserves to have their point of view heard. So I appreciate everything. Thank you. And thank you for clicking on this video if you're watching right now. But I did just want to say that to kick this off. So today, what we're going to be getting into, we're going to get into just a little bit, about the card that's going to go on this Saturday. Not much that we're really going to get into on that. I mean, it's no secret that it's not a huge card, especially coming off of UFC 290. He got that dog in him, you know what I'm saying? So, but we're going to get off into a couple of things. I wanted to touch back on the flyweight championship fight from 290, where Alexandre Pantoja goes out there and defeats Brandon the Assassin Baby Moreno. So, just kind of want to get into a couple of things. First, let's kick off with the card that's coming up this Saturday. So it's going down this Saturday. Another Apex card. In the main event, Holly Holmes is stepping in there with Myra Bueno Silva in the main event. So, we're going to get off into that just a little bit. You know, when it comes to that fight, I mean, bro, it's hard to really pick a winner in that because when you look at both sides of the equation, Holly Holmes is a legend. Holly Holmes is a veteran. Holly Holmes at this point in her career is doesn't seem to be completely concerned with striking and the quick, fast twitch kickboxing and movements that she used to have a little bit earlier in her career. So nowadays, a lot of the time Holly Holmes uses her striking really to set up her grappling as far as cage grappling, and she will throw in takedowns. She will take you down to the ground, hold you down, use a lot of top pressure to keep you in place. So I mean, there is definitely a world where you can see that happening against Silva. That's definitely for sure. That's probably more than likely going to be the path to victory there overall. Whether you were picking Holly Holmes in that fight or not. If one thing is for sure, Holly Holmes can go out there, throw some kicks, throw a few punches, but more so a lot of kicks, few leg kicks, everything to set up, backing Silva up against the cage. And then once she has her up against the cage, she will initiate the grappling. Maybe she'll take her to the ground from the cage, but, she's going to take someone down. A lot of the time she'll shoot on you. She's a shooter. You know what I'm saying? Take 10 paces, turn around and draw. She's a shooter. You know what I'm saying? So she might shoot. It might not even necessarily have to be up against the cage. But at this stage in Holly Holmes' career, usually from what I've seen her last few fights, she's usually looking to get it to the ground, kind of hold you down, kind of tire you out. Land a few elbows, a few ground strikes, but that's kind of her game. Silva, on the other hand, a little bit more of a wild card. Silva will strike with you, but a lot of the time Silva is extremely good at, in those transitional periods on the ground. She's really good at catching chokes, taking your back, catching arm bars, different things of that nature in transitions in the ground exchanges. And I mean, she won't hesitate. She'll jump the gilly. You know what I'm saying? She'll jump the gilly, or she'll jump, pull guard, or anything up against the cage. So I mean, Holly Holmes is going to have to be aware holding her up against the cage that she definitely will pull guard. I can't really pick. I can't really say who make a pick in that fight. I mean, what do you want me to do, bro? It's Holly Holmes. I mean, smart money says Holly Holmes is eventually DraftKings money, I might add. Holla at your boy, DraftKings. Holla at your boy. I'm out here doing big things. Holla at me, man. Anyway, I'm betting with you again this weekend. What you want from me? You know what I'm saying? Holla at me, DraftKings. I'm out here trying to do things. Matter of fact, MMA. Get with your boy. But, man, at the end of the day, I mean, smart money says Holly Holmes is either going to hold her up against the cage, grapple her the majority of the fight, take her down to the ground, use top pressure, hold her down, and try to ink out that decision. Maybe land some elbows when we're talking about trying to finish her. So, or maybe she gets her extremely tired and going into the maybe fourth round or so, she might try to finish her on the feet. That's what smart money says when you're dealing with Holly Holmes. But Holly Holmes, no disrespect, she's getting a little bit up there in age. So at any time, when you got fighters a little up there in age, the bottom could fall out. So there's definitely a world where, Silva, takes advantage of a transition grapple, takes her back, takes her arm, takes whatever she can take, and she's taking it home with her. So, you know what I'm saying? I could definitely see a world where either one of these fighters could win. But nevertheless, it should be fairly interesting to see. I don't know. Might not be the most entertaining main event from an action standpoint, especially coming out of UFC 290. But nevertheless, it should be interesting to see. I mean, the card kind of is what it is. I'll be excited to see what's going to go down with Jack Maddalena. We'll just call him JDM. Jack Della Maddalena. I will be interested in seeing what's going to happen with him. I mean, I of course I got to pick him to win, but it's always just good to see a guy like that fight. He has such crisp striking, and I mean, the man's packing dynamite. I mean, we talking about like this dude, he's coming out there. He packs that old school dynamite in his hands. Like, JDM, he packs that dynamite like from the old Looney Tunes cartoons where they had the little square box and a little dynamite handle on the top and they push it down like that. Boom. That's the type of power he packs in his hands. So it's always good to see that man go out there and fight. That should be interesting. Kind of is what it is. Norma Dumont on this card, interesting to see what the UFC is going to do with the featherweight division now that Amanda Nunes has retired. We got Terrence McKinney going back out there. Should be interesting to see if he's going to bounce back. He's on the 2-fight losing streak at the moment, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him if he can make a comeback. But I don't know. Tough fight ahead of him. Couple of good little fights, but it's kind of like that hangover fallout card from another major card from UFC 290. So kind of is what it is on that. But let's kind of pivot from there and go into, I want to touch back on UFC 290 and get into the flyweight championship fight between Brandon Moreno, who took a L there, lost by decision, to Alexandre Pantoja. So, going back to what I even said at the beginning of this video, bro, I think people got to go back and look at this fight again. It was a tremendous fight. Definitely one of the fights, at the top for fight of the year thus far in, 2023. But like I said, bro, Pantoja's walking out to many men. That already set the tone where his mind was at. And as I've watched this fight a couple of times since it happened. And watching that fight, and I was going into that, I was picking Moreno to win. But, bro, Pantoja went out there and just, that man had a fury. The way that man would not go away. He would not quit. And that is usually what we're saying about Brandon Moreno, who also in this fight did not go away. He did not quit. And a lot of people picked Brandon Moreno on the scorecards. They felt like he should have won that. I think definitely it was close. I scored it 3-2 for Pantoja. In my opinion, just looking at it, I didn't physically score. I ain't out here doing all that. You know what I'm saying? But, I kind of looked at it like, I had 3-2 Pantoja. But, you come out there in the first round, the beginning of the first round, Pantoja instantly went for Moreno. Instantly trying to put that pace on him strike-wise to show him. And the grappling in the first round by Pantoja. The strike in the first round. And then what was crazy to see is to see by the end of the round, Brandon Moreno was still there. Brandon Moreno was still there. The second round begins. I was already thinking, I'm like, bro, Pantoja's body language. Dude, did homie go out there and blow his wad in the first round? He looked like, he looked like he was on the verge of gassing, at the beginning of the second round, when the second round started. And then Brandon Moreno starts making a comeback. And he starts putting that beautiful jab that he has on him over and over again. I believe it's come out that Brandon Moreno may have broken his hand by that point in the second round. I don't know, maybe he broke his hand in the second round. But I believe that he is saying that his hand got broken at some point during the fight. At some point during the fight, Brandon Moreno was a one-handed fighter. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to Dan Hooker, who went out there with a whole wrist was snapped. You know what I'm saying? And still kept, and had an orbital broken as well. Shout out to Dan Hooker, who kept fighting. But Brandon Moreno had some sort of a hand injury. I don't know what it was, but he had some sort of a hand injury, bro. You know what I'm saying? And goes out there and puts that pace on Pantoja in the second round. And by the end of the second round, Pantoja is still hanging in there, bro. The man is still hanging in there after that pace that Moreno put on him in the second. And Moreno was looking like he was coming on strong. We got the third round. Now the third round is that could be a big turning point, you would think. At the beginning of the third round is when Pantoja goes out there, gets that low blow. Now, I'm not here to argue whether it was on purpose or it was by accident, Who knows, bro? I'm not here to go against Pantoja, so whatever. Either way, it worked in his favor. It gave him a chance to recollect himself, kind of get his breath together. Shortly thereafter, the fight goes to the ground. right? Fight goes to the ground. What was so interesting about this is Pantoja. I mean, in between rounds, the way he was on the way he was looking on the stool with his coaches, and his coaches did a tremendous job. Both teams, Brandon Moreno's coach and Pantoja's coach did a tremendous job between rounds, propping their fighter up, keeping them focused, keeping them in the game. And I mean, or keeping him in the fight, I should say. And I mean, Pantoja, when he had him on the ground in the third round, the way he was viciously going for anything he could get as far as a choke. I mean, and Brandon Moreno, noted by the commentators, was fighting the hands calmly, collectively. Shout out to Brandon Moreno for being so calm in the fire. And he's calmly fighting the hands. While if you look at Pantoja's face, while he had Brandon Moreno on the ground and he had his back, he is fighting. I mean, he has all the intensity of whatever you want to pull out. I mean, this homie was fighting for his life. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting for his life trying to get that choke. I mean, homie is he's on another plane. A whole other plane, I should say. Some place that we not even at. The way he was fighting to get a choke or get anything on Moreno. You know, the intensity he has, and Moreno survived it. You know, and we're going into the fourth round. Pantoja looked whipped. I mean, I'm talking about Pantoja's face is bloody, it's swollen. There's a cut already, maybe multiple cuts. I know there's at least one main cut on Brandon Moreno's face, and both guys are still in this fight. Tremendous fight. The fourth round, tremendous. You know, both guys really doing their thing, but something has to be said for Pantoja. At the end of each round, you could tell as the round was winding down, the way Pantoja would just fight for some sort of a takedown. You know, there was definitely a good strategy for the scorecard, so to speak, to kind of show the judges that he's still in it, to show that control, you know, if he could get that top position, even though Brandon Moreno was killing him in the transitions, killing him on the reversals, you know, but Pantoja still stuck in the fight, as well as it played in his favor to give him a chance to somewhat rest a little bit. Even though Moreno was fighting him in transition, had tremendous reversals, it was giving Pantoja a few chances. It's giving Pants, we're going to call him Pants, giving him a couple chances to try to get his breath back. Because, I mean, bro, it was rough on him, bro. Homie was looking like somebody on Skid Row. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, he looked like he had been... Pantoja was looking like he had been roll hard and put up wet. You know what I'm saying? It was rough on your boy. He was out there, but the man was still fighting. The intensity, the drive that he have is just... You can't beat it. And it reminded me of Moreno in the first Figgy Smalls fight, where he just would not go away against Figueiredo. I mean, it was just... Moreno was getting low blowed and everything. Figgy was doing whatever he had to in that first fight. And Moreno would not go nowhere. It was just, the man would not go away, bro. And it was almost like he would not be denied in that first fight. Even though it went down as a draw by the scorecards, the man would not be denied. He hung in there with Figueiredo. He showed him. He tried to put that pace on Figueiredo, bro, in that first fight. It was tremendous to see. And went out there in that second fight and got that win. Took it from Figueiredo. That was a fight in which you can say one man went out there and took the win from another man. That was what happened. And in this fight, that's what I felt like. Because Pantoja looked like he was already gassed at the beginning of the second. And he would not be denied. He did not go away. No matter all the transition reversals on the ground that Moreno made. No matter the jabs that Pantoja had to eat from Moreno. The fan support all in Moreno's corner. Bro, to see Pantoja go out there and not be denied. Refuse to quit. And go out there and take it. Now, of course, when you look at the fifth round, both men kind of took the fifth round off. It just happened to be that Pantoja was on the better end of taking that round off. Let's be real. Wasn't a lot that went on in the fifth round. Both men kind of took that off. And I don't mean took it off as in they was conserving energy. Both men was dead. Both men didn't have nothing left. You dig what I'm saying? So... Shout out to Pantoja. He just kind of came out on the better end of that because he had Moreno's back the majority of the fifth round. So he just kind of came out on the winning side of that. Tremendous fight, tremendous post fight interview from Pantoja. Tremendous to hear him talk about his children, a little bit about his upbringing, single mother under, single mother being raised, him and his brother. And, that was tremendous to see when his children ran in the ring. At the time, I thought that all of those were his kids. Apparently, he was talking about on Ariel Helwani's show, and I'm bringing that up again because I don't want a lot of people to think that I'm like out here taking shots, taking aim at Ariel Helwani, which I'm not doing. I was just calling out a little bit of hypocrisy being kind of put out there by Ariel. But, no disrespect to that man, but it was a little bit of hypocrisy, a little trickery going on his programs this week. But nevertheless, bro, I watched that interview he had with Pantoja. It was a beautiful thing. And he said that those were El Dorino's kids. Those were Gilbert Burns' kids that also ran in there by him being a close friend. Really helped support Pantoja over these last few years while the whole, whatever you want to call it, played out between Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno and Pants. Pants is waiting in the wings to get his title shot. Money was low. Shout out to Dan Lambert of American Top Team helping Pantoja out. Shout out to Gilbert Burns helping that man out, helping his family out, help keeping them afloat. To Pantoja could go in there and, achieve his dream of winning the flyweight championship. So that was a great thing to see, outstanding thing to see, pulls, tugs at your heart to see Pantoja out there realizing his dream, bro. So shout out to Alexandre Pantoja. Awesome. I'm a fan for life now after seeing that. I'm a huge Brandon Moreno fan. I picked him to win that fight, but Pants could not be denied. Pantoja could not be denied. It was awesome to see. I'm a fan for life. He's a family man, stand-up guy. Loved hearing the comments he said about his father when he described the situation more on the MMA Hour. And you really felt for the guy that overall he could still, give his father respect, and still give him some sort of props and kind of show that, he tried to make amends and his dad had just been suffering over the years with alcoholism and a lot of things and was doing the best he could do. But, it was awesome. It was awesome to see. Shout out to Alexandre Pantoja. I don't know if he'll ever see this video and probably has no idea who I am, but bro, I'm a fan for life. Bro, I love to hear your story. You said in your post-fight interview that if people knew your story, they would love it, and you was right. So shout out to the new flyweight champion of the world, Alexandre Pantoja. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name, bro. I'm country, so I apologize about that. But, bro, shout out to you. I'm a fan for life, and hope everything works out to you. Shout out to Brandon Moreno. We all know he'll be back. You can't hold the assassin baby down. So that was great to see. Outstanding. Just want to take a little moment to touch on that. Outside of that, guys, outside of the Dricus du Plessis and Stylebender drama, there hasn't been a ton going on this week, so to speak. We're going into this fight card this weekend, so we'll see how it all goes down. So I'll be right back with you. I'll be right back with everyone. Again, I appreciate everyone, all the likes, all the subscriptions, all the subs, I should say, all the comments from everyone. I appreciate everyone stepping in this matter of fact MMA world, you know what I'm saying? And really, let me know how you felt, whether you agree with me or disagreed. I appreciate everything. It's good to see that in 2023, we can all have opposing views, opposing point of views. We can see things different ways, but at the end of the day, man, we all in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everything from everyone. Shout out to all the new matter of fact MMA subs. Appreciate all you guys, everybody that had kind comments, kind words for your boy. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here. I'm not aligned with any major group, no MMA junkie, no MMA fighting. You know, I ain't got nobody behind your boy. No morning combat, no showtime. It's cutting a check to your boy. You know, I'm just out here, just a regular dude, just making videos for something he's passionate about. So I appreciate everything. I want to thank you all again for joining me for another episode. A matter of fact, MMA. We here rocking the biggie, you know what I'm saying? Out here doing big things, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything. Appreciate all y'all checking out another video, and I'll check you next time. Peace.